So where does that leave women, people of color, and the queers? Where does that leave us? If 60% of talent are getting their education from boot camps and online, they're teaching themselves, and that's almost half women, close to that for people of color, where does that leave us? Right? Especially when coding is sort of the new law degree, right? It's the promise of economic opportunity. It's not just about learning how to code, it's a job. It's a chance to have a better life. That's what's happening. There is a promise, which is why there's a new boot camp opening every day. I love boot camps. But it's because there is a promise of economic opportunity. There's a promise of a 6-figure job waiting for you. It is a new law degree. Congratulations, you have arrived. So why is it so hard to change, right? Why has this been such a struggle? It's complex. This isn't an easy thing, but why has it been so hard? Well, we live in a systemic, racist, sexist, and anti-LGBTQ world, so this is just a representation of what's going on in our bigger universe. And surprise, surprise, I know this is going to shock a lot of you, but the world is actually not fair. It's not fair. Use a love that one. We can actually predict how much you're going to make in the future of your entire life by the zip code that you are born in. Think about that. The zip code that you were born, what's fair about that? Who's pulling themselves up from the bootstraps? It just depends on what zip code you were born in, how much economic opportunity you have. But I have hope. There's a lot of bad news there. I have hope because of you, because of what we've been able to build together at Lesbians Who Tech. We've been able to build literally this alternate universe that's so magical and so incredible, so much so that BuzzFeed said, if every tech conference, let's just go and say if every tech company were more like Lesbians Who Tech, the world would be a better place. Right? We can have hula hoop contests, good hair. We've literally practiced something called intentional inclusion. We've used data to be representative of our community. We're intersectional. We've built trust. You're showing up. You're not just watching Scandal every night. You're coming here. Yes, we have done it. Congratulations. Clap for that. Just a few nights a week. Together, we use our networks to build a community of 25,000 queer women and the people who love us from all around the world. We've done that together. Together. We've launched a coding scholarship. We're sending queer women to learn how to code. But how do we scale that outside of lesbians, right? I mean, lesbians and queer women should have more fun than other people, but not all the fun, right? Not all the fun. And what if we, the people in this room, actually had the answer to solving this billion-dollar problem? And it's not just about diversity, although it's extremely important. It's about open jobs. Right now, there are 500,000 open jobs, open tech jobs in this country. And by 2020, there's going to be 1.4 million. So companies that don't get ahead of this, it's not just about diversity, although it's extremely important, and we know diverse teams are better teams, I don't have to tell you that. But that's more than just this. We're talking about open jobs. If you're not thinking about this, how you're going to handle non-traditional talent, you're already behind and you've got to catch up.
Yeah.
So I have a surprise for you. Lesbians Who Tech is launching a new project. Congratulations, you've done this. We've launched a new product today, actually. You've seen them out there. It's called Include.io. So what if we could scale direct referrals outside of our networks, knowing our networks are biased? What if a software engineer at Amazon could mini-mentor someone, a queer woman of color in Nashville, and look at their code and say, yes, I would bring someone in for an interview. And then what would happen if Amazon could use that platform and say, you know what, I'm going to be intentional, and I'm going to look for women of color who have been validated by current Amazon employees. Guess what? We're still using direct referrals because I've been at this for a few years, and I work with a lot of recruiters, and I don't think direct referrals are going anywhere. They're the safest way to hire. So the problem is, how do we scale direct referrals outside of our networks, knowing that we have bias, that we're biased as humans and we have biased networks? So this is what it looks like. You choose, you self-identify, you upload your projects, and then this is where you come in, the mentors. So you have mentors that you can choose. You look at their projects, you do a mini mentoring session, 30 minutes, you validate them. It feels really good because guess what? We're giving you a voice in the recruiting process. You want a voice in the recruiting process? I've talked to hundreds of you, and I know that you do because you're frustrated, because you've literally referred dozens of people, and then you have no idea what happens, right? You've literally referred queer people, people of color, and you have no idea why they did not get the job. Sometimes you do, but generally not. So what if you could have a voice in this? And guess what? That makes it not just a recruiting tool, but a retention tool. Because you have to give your current employees a part of this, give them a voice in this process, and let them be a part of the solution, solving this billion-dollar problem. So this is what it looks like for companies. You can literally search by the skill, the type of person, and by people that have only been validated by the people at your company if you want to stick to that direct referrals. So what we're literally doing is engineering relationships, right? Because again, I'm saying this thing because I think it's really important. We are biased. There's no amount of unconscious bias training that can ever remove the bias that we have in individuals. We live in a systemic, racist, sexist, anti-LGBTQ world. That's just the way it is, and we have to fight it. We have to fight it every day, and we have to be intentional about it. So that's what this product is going to do. We're going to engineer relationships so we can be intentional about it, and we can scale direct referrals outside of our networks. We can scale human connections. Because we all know how important, how powerful human connections are. Else I know you want to be here today. They have the power to change our lives. Just even one conversation. You don't have to have a mentor for months. Just one thing someone says to you can change the trajectory of your life. So if we could scale that using the power of the internet to people that would never have access to you, you that live in Silicon Valley, you that work at Google and Facebook, to people that have been self-taught and could finally have access to maybe that economic opportunity and that six-figure job because they've been working their asses off and they deserve it. So this is kind of how we see it, for those of you like visuals instead of words. Doing both, practicing intentional inclusion and increasing proxies for validation. We believe that's going to be the core of building your best team, and so people can get hired for who they really are, and allowing companies to do what's actually best for their bottom line and build their best team. So this is our team. They're outside. We may or may not have sent you an email. I don't know if the interwebs, the Wi-Fi power in here made that happen. But I encourage you to check it out. We really, really need your feedback on this. We have to build this together. This is literally a project of Lesbians Who Tech. So this is a slight tangent, but I had yet to do a keynote talk, and I kind of refused to do a keynote talk without talking about my brother, who many of you know passed away years ago. And I really attribute that moment to, after a few steps, starting Lesbians Who Tech. That grief and that loss gave me new insight into taking risks and feeling more confident around that. And I really never would have started Lesbians Who Tech without that sort of influence or experience. I know most people have experienced loss, and that it's obviously awful, but it gives us a power to take more risks in life, because life is too short not to. And so I just like to remind us of that. And I want to tell you that it's really you. It was my brother to start this, but it's really been you over the last couple years that's made me feel comfortable to take this risk and build this product, because I've been hearing the pain points both for recruiters and companies and individuals who want to find jobs. And it's really, literally Lesbians Who Tech who's made this happen. So I want to thank you for that and encourage you to take risks, whatever it takes, because apathy is not an option. Even though we do need to heal and take care of ourselves, it's up to us to push for this. There's literally no one else that's going to make this happen. It is up to us to make this happen. Because literally, clearly, money is not going to solve the problem. It's going to take humans. It's going to take human relationships, human connections. It's going to take a lot of hard work. But you know what? I think you guys can do it. You guys think you can do this? Do you think you can solve this problem? Because it should be this easy. It should be this easy. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys